Hello guys, so I'm gonna read Superman number 3, the first story. So I'm gonna give a disclaimer, there's heavy subject material in this comic. You wouldn't really expect that from like a Superman comic, but there's heavy, it's about child abuse. So yeah, like, you wouldn't expect that from like a comic, like a really 1940s comic, but yeah, it talks about child abuse. So I think I should just say a warning about it because it's actually kind of there's some like kind of graphic things with child abuse, but which is really messed up. But yeah, I don't know if I should even be reading this story. It's kind of dark, but Superman. So there's a bunch of like action scenes of Superman this page, and Superman, the Man of Tomorrow, by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. Daybreak, a small figure stealthily slips from the state orphanage's dormitory. Shush, want to give me away? So long. I guess I won't be seeing you anymore. Gosh, it's hot. Wish I could have ate something before I left. Overcome by hunger, fatigue, and the heat, the child collapses. Oh. As Clark Kent, Ace Daily Star reporter. This was before the name change. Walks to work, he cites, "Good grief!" And he's on the little boy's on the railroad tracks. Swiftly removing his outer garments, Clark is transformed into the dynamic Man of Tomorrow, Superman. Not an instant to lose. I've got to reach that boy in time. Racing at a terrific rate of speed, Superman overtakes the train, races neck and neck, passes it, and leaps to the boy's side. On hurdles the train now, only a few feet away. Down upon a helpless, unconscious child and his rescuer races the ponderous train. Too late for me to stop! They haven't a chance! Snatching up the boy, Superman takes a giant leap that carries them to safety. As the train grinds to a halt, excited passengers and trainmen pour out. That was the most amazing rescue I've ever witnessed, but I still can't believe my senses. Where are they? Gone. They leaped completely out of sight. A tremendous jump carries Superman far from the scene of his daring rescue. Just as he again assumes the identity of Clark Kent, the child revives. What happened? Never mind. But what made you pass out like you did? Hunger. I haven't eaten in 2 days. We'll fix that soon. Come with me. Just look at you gulp down that food. You must be starving. You said it. Well, goodbye and thanks for that swell feed, mister. Wait, mind answering a few questions? I'm Clark Kent, reporter on the Daily Star. What's your name, son? Frankie, sir. Frankie Dennis. Where do you live, Frankie? I'll take you home. Let me go. I ain't got a home, I tell ya. You're not running away from home, are you, Frankie? Home? You wouldn't call a place where a superintendent beats and starves and slave drives ya home, would ya? I wouldn't go back to that state orphanage, do you hear? I won't. State orphanage, eh? Looks like there might be a story here. Tell me, what do they do to you at the orphanage? Superintendent Lyman gives us kids food not fit to eat, hired us for hard labor, beats us, and makes us scrub for floors for hours and hours. That's a pretty nasty state of affairs. Certain you're not lying? It's true, every word of it. Please don't make me go back to that orphanage, mister. Look, if what you say is true, I may be able to help. But I wouldn't do anything without your assistance. Me help? Why, if I was to go back now, the superintendent would have it in it for me as twice as much. But think of all the other children back at the orphanage. Surely you're not going to let them down because you're afraid. Superman's kind of putting a child in danger. But how would my going back to the orphanage help the kids? You would be my undercover man, a sort of detective, and report back to me all of the superintendent's unjust actions. Frankie's inner struggle is reflected upon his features, to return to that loathsome slavery, or to cling to his precious freedom. I'll do it. I'll go back. Stout fellow. I know you wouldn't abandon your friends. But when they reach the state orphanage... You're trembling, Frankie. Don't. There's no longer anything to be afraid of. I know that, all right, but my knees don't. What do you... Frankie Dennis. Don't hit me, Mr. Lyman, don't. You blasted runaway, take your hands off the boy. Who are you? How dare you tell me to run my own affairs? I'm reporter Kent of the Daily Star. I persuaded this boy to return here. A reporter, eh? That's different. Please excuse my little burst of temper, but when a boy repays my gentle kindness by running away, it irks me. I love my mischievous little charges, but this little tyke has had me worried to death by his disappearance. You understand, don't you? Quite. Well, I must leave you now. Do return at any time you desire. We're always pleased to have visitors, aren't we, Frankie? Yes. Thanks for the invitation. I may take you up. See, I don't know why Superman couldn't have just sneaked in, he's this poor child is gonna be abused now. The kid might have been lying, and yet that superintendent impresses me as being a wily rascal. So, yeah, and Superman already has X-ray vision at this point, so he could easily... So it's a plot hole. Boy, did you spill that stooping reporter. Tell me or I'll smash that pasty face of yours. Tell me! Nothing, honest. I didn't tell him nothing. Please let me go. And Clark reaches the Daily Star. How about having lunch with me today, Lois? Sorry, not interested. Come on, I'm not Poison Ivy. For once and all, will you please let it register in that thick dome of yours that I dislike you heartily? Understand? Taylor wants to see you, Clark. You know, a spectacular rescue by an unknown man of the runway from the state orphanage. See what you can dig up on it. Fine, Chief, I'd like to cover it. I got a hunch about conditions in that institution. Why not have Lois help me cover that angle? Sounds swell. What a break. Ho ho, she'll have to bear my company now, whether she wants to or not. Lois, Clark has reason to believe that there's dirty work going on at the state orphanage. This may turn out to be a big story. Give me your complete cooperation. I'm sure she'll be only too delighted. Delighted? Why, I'm going with you only because I'm forced to, and don't you forget it. What difference does that make as long as we're alone? Wait up! Hold it, Clark! Just a minute! Reporters from the rival papers. Did you say alone? Hello, if it isn't my beautiful contemporaries. Nice day, isn't it? We'll see you later. Not so fast. What's the hurry? Can't Clark and I have a luncheon date without you rival news hounds butting in? Luncheon date, eh? You couldn't possibly be on the track of an important news story, could you? With your imagination, you should write fiction. Come on, Clarksy, don't be selfish. What's up? Nothing, I tell you. Well, maybe you're right. Ooh, I thought we'd never get rid of them. I'm not so positive we have. What do you mean that you're not so positive we dodged those reporters? Take a look back and see for yourself. Closely in pursuit of their cab is another taxi. They're trailing us. We're being followed. Shake off the taxi behind us, and there's a 5 spot in it for you. Leave it to me. Unexpectedly, Clark's taxi swerves sharply into an alley. That ought to do the trick. Gosh, I thought we'd never shake off those reporters. But we did. Later, when they reach the state orphanage. Remember, Lois, give Lyman no reason to suspect you'll believe anything amiss. I can just picture the faces of those reporters when they read our scoop in the Daily Star. Hi, Clark, remember us? Luncheon date, eh? The reporters! Of all the dirty tricks, you deliberately followed us. You know the old saying, all's fair in love and war and gathering the news. Quit trying to hold out on us. What's going on here at the orphanage? Nothing much. This is going to be a routine feature story. That's why we didn't bother to tell you of it. When a rival reporter gets magnanimous, it arouses a suspicious streak in me. Why doesn't someone answer the door? You've been ringing it long enough. The doorbell isn't out of order. I can hear it ringing. Newspaper men. I got to think fast. Not a minute to lose. I'll have to let those reporters in and they witness conditions as they really are. Stop working, all of you. Put your materials away and begin to play games. Yes, sir, Mr. Lyman. If these snooping reporters question you, remember, you love the home, you're pleased with the conditions, and anyone who says different will get severely punished. Get me? Come right in and please pardon the delay. I was busy filing out some reports. They must have been interesting reports. We've been ringing for nearly 5 minutes. And what can I do for you? Do you mind letting us look over the orphanage? Our editors think readers will be interested in learning of your work. I'll only be too pleased to show you the place. Follow me. How can we carry on our investigation with the other reporters around? We'll just have to make the best of it. See how content they are, how happily they play. They've all the comforts of a real home. It's a fine job you're doing, Lyman. Just look at the fun they're having. I love them all as though they were my own children. Ha ha, how simple it is to pull the wool over their eyes. May I quote that statement, sir? I still don't trust him. Hello, little girl, what's your name? How do you like it here? I like it fine. Mr. Lyman's very good to us. He never hits us or anything. Just look at that bruise on your arm. How did you get it? Don't be frightened. Tell me, where'd you get that mark? I fell down. Yeah, so again, I'm really sorry. The subject matter is really messed up. I don't know. This stuff has been always happening, though, like, throughout history. It's very messed up, though. It's one of the most sick things a person can do is abuse children. That's probably definitely top 3 sickest things a person can do. But a child is trembling as though she was in terrible fear of something or someone. I wonder, did she fall or was she struck? Actually, it is probably the worst thing you could ever do. Abuse children. That is the worst thing anybody could do. Abuse a child. But looking through the orphan's quarter, Lois finds a child confined to his bed. You look wan and weak. What's wrong with you? I guess I'm tired for playing too much. You sure there's no other reason? Positive, miss. I don't dare tell her I'm laid up from working too hard. Psst, Mr. Kent. What is it, Frankie? There's something I gotta tell you, and I haven't much time. What do you wish to tell me, Frankie? It's about Mr. Lyman. He warned the kids that... Oh my gosh! What's wrong? Why don't you go on? I got nothing to tell you. Honest, I ain't. If you wish to tell Mr. Kent something, Frankie, go right ahead. No, they ain't got nothing to say. There's nothing I gotta say. Well, are you satisfied with your inspection? Quite. I guess we might as well leave now. I wonder what Frankie was going to reveal. So that was your great yarn. Not so hot if you ask me. You see, it's just as I told you. Nothing but a mediocre feature story. Well, whatever became of your hunch that there's something amiss at the state orphanage, I still think that superintendent isn't on the level. As soon as the reporters leave, stop that loafing, all of you! Back to work! And as for you... Don't, you're hurting me! I'll just lock you here in the attic until you learn to keep that trap of yours shut. Sorry, Taylor, but we didn't succeed in digging up any news at the orphanage. You didn't, eh? Then from now on, keep your hunches to yourself. While back at the orphanage, a little more enthusiasm there. Scrub, blast you, scrub! You little brats. I'll teach you who's the master around here. Ho, ho, did I fool these stupid reporters. That evening, Clark removes his outer garments, revealing his true identity as Superman, champion of the oppressed. There's more to that orphanage than meets the eye, and I intend to get down to the bottom of it. High over the city streaks a fantastic phantom of the night, Superman. Down he hurtles to the side of the state orphanage. It's Lyman checking over his books. What those reporters wouldn't give to see the secret account book. Lyman gloats over the figures of his grafting, unaware that he's being observed by Superman. Not bad at all. Soon I'll have enough to clear out of here. At home, Lois turns. It's no use, I can't sleep. Is that orphanage run on the level? And locked in the orphanage attic, Where am I? Open this door, let me out! I won't stop yelling till you let me out! What's that noise? I'll show him. Let me out or I'll wreck the place. It's that brat up in the attic. I'll fix him. He's gone. Out of my chance to look over those account books. These entries indicate the prices Lyman paid for the food purchase from the Star Groceries Company. They look unusually high to me. I'll just check up. I'm probably being an utter fool, but I'm going back to that state orphanage to look it over while the superintendent is off guard. You little troublemaker, I'll lash the hide off you. No, don't! On the roof of the Star Groceries Company, Superman pries open the skylight, enters, then forces the company's steel files. I dislike wrecking their equipment, but it's necessary. The figures in these two books differ. Lyman is grafting outrageously on the food bill. I have all the proof I need. Now to give Lyman what he deserves. Stealthily, Lois breaks into the state orphanage. I'll look like a perfect fool if nothing is amiss. Take that, you sniveling brat! I'll teach you discipline! Oh, stop it, please! So yeah, again, this is the reason why I put the warning, at the title of the video. But the inmates of the orphanage cower in their beds at the sound of Frankie's painful shrieks. It's the superintendent beating Frankie. I'm scared. An unexpected interloper hears the cries. What are those cries? Stop it! You're one of those stooping reporters. What are you doing here? I suspected you doing just this sort of thing. I'm going to print what I've seen. Out of my way. You'll never print the story. I'll kill you first. You're insane. Open the door. That girl's story will start an investigation and ruin everything. Luckily, there's enough cash for a quick getaway. There's not a moment to lose. But first, I've got to make certain that girl will never talk. Laughing with mad glee, the crazed superintendent sets fire to the orphanage. Ho ho, I'll burn it to the ground. They'll never catch me. I'll skip the country. Crazed with fear, the terrified occupants of the blazing orphanage rush out in the cold night. The place is on fire. We gotta get out. We can't. The door won't budge. I can hardly breathe. No one noticed me. The moment I reach that car, I'll be on my way to South America and in a life of luxury. The superintendent, rushing from the burning orphanage. The coward's gone insane. Down to the ground crashes the Man of Steel as the superintendent makes his getaway. Seizing the car in a vise-like grip, Superman leaps upward, then tears off its dangling rear wheels. No, you don't. Stick around. What in... A light pressure upon the rear of Lyman's neck by Superman, and the superintendent passes out. I'll tend to you later. Right now, someone may need help in that burning building. She's unconscious from the smoke. Help, help! Frankie, trapped in the attic. Grab hold. We gotta jump before the building collapses. Wait, there's a girl in the room. Down from the crashing building leaps Superman, Lois and Frankie safely in his arms. What happened? How did I get here? The guy we've read so much about, Superman. He brought us down safely, then beat it. You say that Superman saved us from death in that burning building? Yes, gosh, is he strong? What a man. Lois, thank God you're safe. Arrest that man. He set fire to the orphanage. Let me go. I didn't know what I was doing. The Daily Star. Graft cruelty reigns in state orphanage. By Clark Kent, Superintendent, Boy Hero. Clark visits the rebuilt state orphanage. Well, Frankie, how do you and the other kids like your new superintendent? He's swell, and so are you, Mr. Kent. And that's the end of the story, so... Again, sorry for the really dark subject matter, but that's what's in the comic. It's very messed up, but... Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be appreciated. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.